All right, folks, this is the third time recording this notes because it's not transferring over, so I'm probably going to have to cut this into two parts, keep it a little bit shorter to get this to work. So the first part of what we're doing here with 84C and trig, we're trying to find an angle measure, but we have to get used to using a calculator and doing the opposite of a sine, cosine, and tangent called the arc sine or inverse sine. So the first thing we want to do is just have a calculator out, make sure it is in degree mode, make sure it's in degree mode, okay? So for example, let's say this is an algebra equation right here, okay? We want to solve for x. We want to get x by itself. So you take the inverse sine, or sine to the -1. So on your calculator, if you take a look at the directions we have on the bottom, some people have the calculator on the left. You're going to flow with these directions. So you hit second sine, 0.6018, hit equals. Or maybe you're going to use this calculator. You have this one, and you just have to find out what works on your calculator. And you should output an answer of about 36.99. And then next one here, inverse cosine, should be about 63. And then the inverse tangent is about 46. So that's pure calculator work, getting used to working with the inverse function or the sine, cosine, tangent to the -1. Next one, same thing, just working with the calculator. And when you output this, you should actually get about 23.4 when you take the inverse sine of 0.3972. Again, calculator work. Inverse tangent of 1.4362 should be about 55. And the inverse cosine of 0.6796 is about 47. Again, just as pure calculator work, being able to use your calculator, it's a big deal. Next one here, folks. And again, if you have an error or something like that when you're doing these, and maybe you might be in the wrong mode, make sure you're in degree or DEG mode, or you're punching in the wrong decimal using the wrong trig function. It'll give you an error. So now we're going to try to find an actual angle measure. So we're going to use the same steps we did with the previous section of notes, and we're going to use SOHCAHTOA. We're going to undo the trig function to try to get a correct answer. So this is a key concept for you to take a look at just to see, make sure that works, see if we're good to go. This is just an example. You can take a look, try it out, see how that goes. And I'm going to do this one here and then have to stop the notes to see if it worked. So using the same steps we did in 8.4 A and B. So we want x by itself. So what trig function of x equals, and what is the relationship between the sides, or what sides do they give us? They give us opposite over adjacent. So hopefully by now we've learned SOHCAHTOA, and we know that opposite over adjacent is going to be tangent. So we put in the word tangent here. So we can plug in tangent of x equals 23 over 11. So now how do you solve this? You go 23 divided by 11, you get a decimal. So my decimal is about, so tangent of x is about 2.09. And actually what I'm going to do with that, folks, is I'm going to leave that into my calculator and then think about it here. You know, what do we actually want to do with this? Is we want to take the inverse of tangent. So to get x by itself, tangent to the -1. And so x is about, so again, on the calculator, I'm going to hit shift or second of tangent. I'm going to actually recall that answer, so find the A and S button. I had to hit second and that button. And then I hit that and I output an angle or degree measure of 64.4 degrees. Right, I'm going to pause and hopefully this works.